My name is Yoon State, the General Development PD of Chrono.
Hello, my name is Don, and I'm one of the product managers working on Chrono Odyssey.
When we started working on Chronagitai, we wanted to make a game that was fun, not only for the end content, but also for the growth process itself. Rather than winning a competition with someone, I wanted to capture the romance that you can have in an MMORPG, where you cross a vast field without loading, sometimes walk in the forest without any purpose, sometimes cut down trees, fish, and gather with friends to catch bulky monsters on your own. The world of Chrono Odyssey is not just a fantasy. It was a strange, intimidating, and awe-inspiring world. The atmosphere of cosmic horror shown in the movie Prometheus, and the horror of an overwhelming being engulfing the human world. Like the invasion of StarCraft Zug, I wanted to capture this feeling and situation in the world of Chrono Odyssey. Cetera, the main stage of the new logistics, is a space where the past and the future collide, where unidentifiable beings called gods and human voids become entangled, and the laws of the world, as we knew it, have collapsed. The world without foreign media intervention, and the setting that exploits the gap to draw interdimensional wars and invasions, expresses a huge scale, chaos and despair that we have not seen in traditional MMORPGs. The player must fight against immense forces through Cetera, sometimes crossing the past and future to change the world. Rather than just hunting monsters that are strong, we wanted to grow up against alien forces and make the player part of a huge story. In Chrono Trigger, a game that I had long been impressed with, I was so fascinated by the concept of time to confront a huge event, that we talked a lot about how we could integrate the time and space of an MMORPG if possible. As a result, the worldview of Chrono Odyssey was born based on cosmic horror and the setting of time and space. The manipulation of time and space that everyone thought would be impossible in MMORPGs has been incorporated into the game under the name Chronotector. Chrono Odyssey is not a game developed simply to show technical achievements. The reason we chose Unreal Engine 5 was not to show off the latest technology, but to implement the situation we had imagined in our minds, where the peaceful Cetera was invaded from an alien dimension. So I don't want to emphasize the fact that we used Unreal Engine 5. Instead, through this technology, we implemented the world we imagined so that players can fully experience it. I wanted to make the player himself unbeknownst to him, under the influence of alien forces, and he must survive in the endless confusion. The core of this game is the coexistence of reality and unreality, familiarity and unfamiliarity. The structures, including the chrono gate, look like they were made by humans, but they were not made by human hands, and they were designed to feel pressure and intimidation just by looking at them from afar. Forest. The natural environment, such as lakes and mountains, was expressed as realistically as possible, allowing players to feel as if they were directly in it. But all over this world, there are alien and vast beings that cannot be explained logically. I don't think the environment of Cetera can be left out either. This is not a place for the player to explore, but a space where an incomprehensible giant being looks down on us, invading from beyond dimensions. The voids possess powers that ordinary humans dare not resist, and their traces remain all over the world. We wanted to create a world where the real environment and the surreal space mix, order collapses, and a huge fear that humans can't handle. A fear slowly creeps in. In Chrono Odyssey, we wanted players to create their own story through their own explorations and adventures. Traditional MMORPGs have a strong main cast line, so most users follow the same route. But Chrono Odyssey is designed to break this mold and allow users to experience the fun of exploring and discovering the world themselves. Chromatectors allow you to track traces of the past or explore by glimpsing into the future, manipulate time as you investigate ruins to open hidden paths, or find new ones by recreating the past. It is not a simple quest solution, but a way for users to experience the changes in the world and collect pieces of the story through exploration. Depending on the size of your curiosity, you will find not only the main quest line, but also a variety of content such as Realization Labyrinth, Field, Boss, Hunt. We assign experience points to most actions in the game. It is designed to reach full level only by collecting and crafting. In traditional MMORPGs, live content users are often somewhat alienated, but in Chrono Odyssey, exploration and crafting alone allow them to become strong enough, and they are creating a structure where they can benefit from each other through trading and information sharing with combat users. Users can freely choose the style of play they want and grow in a variety of ways within the game. It is also designed to make it fun for users to explore and discover on their own by minimizing information. Many MMORPGs force certain roles. Divided into tank, dealer, and healer, you have to shoot skis and match your equipment to those roles. But with Chrono Odyssey, we've gone beyond that traditional way and made it grow the way you want it to. Such an Odyssey is designed to focus on a single battle. Rather than just figure fights, we added depth to the battle through padding and evasion systems. We also wanted to increase the freedom of combat by designing it so that all users can play their role without focusing on a specific class. We tried to break away from simple PvP content such as large sieges and arenas commonly seen in MMORPGs and provide differentiated content in the PvEVP method. Unlike traditional MMORPGs, Chrono Odyssey is a game that can be enjoyed by a small number of people. At first, 1 or 2 players start multiplayer and slowly increase the number of players. Even after the full level, we wanted to maintain the maximum 5 in party and take the experience as colleagues together. That is, our adventure and exploration direction. At first, we were like traditional MMORPGs. I tried to separate all the roles. But as I was developing, I realized that I needed hybrid classes. So classes like Assassins and Rangers were born, and they moved away from the traditional Tandy Hill concept and added stylistic changes through a variety of weapons to allow for more flexibility in play. Above all, it was important to ensure that healers and tanks were not at a disadvantage in solo play. However, even healers are designed to grow enough on their own. An MMORPG doesn't have to be a party. Our goal was to make the growth process and combat experience the way the user wanted. The Battle of Odyssey is aimed at a deep combat system that utilizes weapon swaps rather than simple skill linkage. Unlike traditional MMORPGs, which rely on a single weight, the key is to freely switch between 2 weapons and plan a battle strategy. At first, I was worried that weapons classes might be too complicated or burdensome. But naturally, I thought it would add depth to the battle if we made the player feel the need. So, from the beginning of the game, let's meet the boss. If you only use 1 weapon, your skill cooldown will not return, which will lead to a disadvantage. At this point, users naturally feel the need for inorganic water pressure. Egypt is based on the philosophy of hard to master, designed to make it easy for anyone to learn combat. but the deeper you go, the more different strategies unfold. I think using weapons classes will also be an essential element in the endgame. Weapon water pressure provides passive buffs rather than mere replacements and acts as a strategic element that changes combinations in real time during combat. There are different styles depending on their weight, and depending on what weapon you combine, the playstyle varies greatly. I wanted the process of intuitively creating your own attack patterns and utilizing techniques to deal with enemies to be a fun experience in itself, rather than relying on skill numbers and information from herd. The number of skills is reduced so that one skill can play multiple roles, and the operation of skills according to the situation can become the key element of combat. The goal of weapon mathematics and combat systems is to create depth in simplicity. Each time the weapon is changed, the flow of the battle changes, and the player can design his own fighting style, giving him more freedom. The philosophy of combat and adventure has been instrumental in the detailed content planning of Chrono Odyssey. This CBT battle will be largely divided into one-on-one challenge content and party content. In single-player challenge content, the player's individual skills and strategy are more important than anything else. The core of this content is that the player grows by breaking through the limits with his own strength. It is in the process of growing. Chronogate is representative of this. In one-on-one battles with the powerful Void Apostles, players must figure out their opponent's patterns and respond strategically. In the process, the growth of the character and the proficiency of the player are also designed to increase. The difficulty level is high, but the sense of accomplishment and special rewards without clearing will be so great. Another challenging content, Trials, offers more than just combat. In this content, which spans various time and space, puzzle, one bottle TMAC, and so on appear randomly, providing a new play experience every time. In this process, players will be tested not only their combat skills, but also their instantaneous judgment and creativity. Party-based content is designed to overcome bigger challenges through a combination of collaboration and strategy. Expedition Dungeon is a representative example, which consists of 3-person recommended parties, and it is important for each person to take on different roles and cooperate. Unlike the massive raids of traditional MMORPGs, focused co-op in a short amount of time. It offers combat, but also allows you to enjoy strategic gameplay with a small number of people. Resumbus content offers challenges on a larger scale. This is a large-scale raid that requires multiple parties to join forces to fight against the Guardian of the region. The unique narrative equipment that can be obtained by touching this boss is the key not only to the growth of the user, but also to a deeper understanding of the game's worldview. The direction of these two battle contents is clear. Combat content designed in this way is not just a means of growth. I aimed for core gameplay that I could feel, harden, and achieve. One-doll challenge content requires individual skills and strategic thinking, while party content requires teamwork and division of roles. Players can choose their own combat style and enjoy the Chrono Odyssey combat system in their own way. Exploration and content are broadly divided into personal experience-centered content and goal-oriented content. With content centered on personal experiences, you can freely explore the open world. I wanted to build a variety of experiences through the hidden stories in the game. This process coincides with the growth of the character and aims to provide a deeper sense of immersion. The most representative example is the Labyrinth. Consisting of a distorted structure in time and space, this propaganda is a combination of puzzle and exploration. Through the process of finding hidden paths in the distorted flow of time and discovering treasures, you can escape the fatigue of battle and feel the fun of exploration. A special reward is given at the first clearance, and the possibility of discovering new secrets is open later. In addition, the Time Portal is a content that allows players to directly experience the time and space of the past. Travel back in time to discover rare collections or pieces of stories that only exist in certain time zones, allowing you to further immerse yourself in the Chrono Odyssey worldview. Phenomenal Hunt combines exploration and goal-oriented content to provide a clear destination for the user in the open world. This content allows you to explore the field freely while presenting a clear goal. I was designed not to lose direction. In the process of tracking down and killing certain criminals, you will naturally have the opportunity to explore new areas and discover hidden secrets. The goal of Phenomenon Wanted is not just to hunt monsters. We thought that you would take on the role of bringing stability to the world by eliminating entities that threaten the inhabitants of Cetera, and in the process, you would have an experience that would allow you to immerse yourself in the game. Chrono Odyssey's growth system is designed to break away from the traditional ways and allow players to freely develop their characters in any way they choose. At the heart of it is production and strengthening. The more rare materials you obtain through the process of collecting, the higher grade equipment you can make. And in this process, we provide a sense of achievement that goes beyond a simple numerical increase and creates the result of your own growth. Enhanced materials can be obtained through various activities such as combat, exploration, and collection in the enhanced system, allowing players to grow according to their various playstyles. Minimize the burden of strengthening failures, and you can experience new growth opportunities when growth is blocked in battle. These two systems are closely linked to each other. Combat-oriented players can grow by obtaining materials from repair points and dungeons, and non-combat-oriented players can also grow into strong enough characters just by collecting and crafting. In the end, the growth of Chrono Odyssey is up to the player. It is determined by the choice of the player, and each person can feel the fun of free and deep growth in their own way. This first civility is the first test of Chrono Odyssey. I'm not trying to show you the finished game. This is a process to further develop the game by actively reflecting the feedback of users.
One of the core elements we're focusing on during this CBT period is improving the multiplayer experience. An MMORPG should be all about playing together, and we want to make sure that's reflected in Chrono Odyssey. We'll be working on content density to make the world feel alive, and continuing our efforts to make exploration more immersive and ensure there's a strong sense of discovery as you journey throughout the world. In Chrono Odyssey, there's no right or wrong way to progress. Whether you enjoy crafting, gathering, exploring, questing, or simply engaging in combat, the game is designed to reward you for playing your way.
We thought the MMORPG framework was the most impressive to convey the world of Chrono Odyssey. Therefore, in order to create a continuous world, we plan to continuously add new regions and expand original content that utilizes time and space. Instead of traveling through time through a portal, which is usually thought of when thinking of time and space travel, we are studying how to proceed with quests by crossing the future and the present in real time. In addition, instead of opening one area after the end of the next area like in traditional MMORPGs, we are trying to create a structure where the world changes according to the user's behavior and new exploration elements are naturally unlocked. We simply call Chronos. Rather than a game that expands systematically, we wanted to make it possible for the user to directly change the world and experience living in it. I didn't want to make Chrono Odyssey a game that was released once and ended. The most important thing I thought about when developing games was to make games that grow with the users. I would like to ask you one thing for CBT users. Don't just follow the quest.
Chrono Odyssey isn't about moving from one objective to the next in a straight line. We want you to embrace the spirit of exploration, share your discoveries with the community, and find your own way through this vast, mysterious world.
What you will experience in the first civility is a very small part of the Chrono Odyssey. After the end of the game, new stories will continue to unfold. More regions, classes, and exploration elements will be expanded, and the world of the game will continue to expand. The Chronos Day team is looking forward to your own stories created by users. We plan to actively reflect the feedback we received through this CBT and continue to develop the game.
AGO's Corona. What it? 6-question try. By the Health Brood, Glove Greenman breaking in, Plaws the Getter post back crowns the Shell, and Mars at the Emily are Big Spirit.
Bridge Promo Edition is waiting for you in this world. Many expectations, please. See you soon!